We are honored that just last week, the U.S. Air Force awarded Archer contracts with the largest contract value of any OEM in the EVTOL industry, with a value of up to $142 million. The DoD has made an unprecedented commitment to helping Archer accelerate our technology development. In this new execution phase of our partnership, Archer will deliver aircraft to the Air Force. Today, we're announcing that we have accelerated our plans and hope to deliver the first aircraft within the next 6 months, as early as Q4 2023. We believe this would be the first EVTOL aircraft in history to be delivered to a paying customer.
This past quarter, we continued to execute our strategy, building momentum across our aircraft development, manufacturing, and certification efforts, with key progress toward our target of commercial launch in 2025. With each passing quarter and each milestone hit on schedule, we continue to prove our steadfast strategy and execute the most efficient path to market. We are well underway in manufacturing our initial piloted conforming Midnight aircraft. We plan to start the final assembly of the first conforming piloted Midnight aircraft within the next 2 months at our state-of-the-art San Jose, California manufacturing facility. Over the next year, we plan to build at least 6 of these aircraft to accelerate our certification flight testing efforts, and we plan to hold our first piloted flight in early 2024.
So we've seen some of the component assembly. Now we're in final assembly. Tell us, what are you working on?
Yeah, so right now we're prepping the fuselage with standoffs and things to put in our avionics. We'll also start routing the wiring harnesses and getting this fuselage fully integrated in so that we can start accepting a wing and going forward with the build. We're really focused on scaling manufacturing. So what we're using is our tier 1, tier 2 suppliers that are already in the market, already have some scaled manufacturing. And then here we're just focused on doing the final assembly and integration of the aircraft. We can integrate an aircraft in about 2 weeks on the floor here.
We have a question from Bill Peterson with JP Morgan.
Yeah, hi. Good afternoon, and thanks for taking the questions. I'd like to ask what remains to be achieved before the full transition, and I guess what does near future mean? And then on piloted flight testing, it does appear, at least relative to maybe this time last year, you are delayed relative to prior expectations. It was supposed to be even in early 24 or maybe first half. Now it's later this year. So I guess what has led to the delays, and what gives you confidence you'll be able to do piloted testing before the end of the year?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Bill, this is Tom. So first part of your question with regard to transitioning the first Midnight aircraft. Midnight, we started flying in October, 6 or 7 months ago. And, you're asking for a little more precision on the date. We're getting pretty close to transition. So I'm confident it'll happen in the coming couple months here. So really excited about the progress there, learning a lot, ramping up flight testing in general. Your question regarding piloted flight testing, basically safety comes first, and we're taking, thoughtful, methodical steps here, working towards that milestone. Of the engineering team that we have, 500 or so folks, the vast majority are all working towards that goal. And so if you look at our shareholder letter, you can see the aircraft coming together. You can see pictures of the Iron Bird. We're getting deep into testing. Talked about getting safety of flight declaration letters from suppliers and, doing our own testing. So everything's coming together to make that happen this year. Would I like it to be faster? Absolutely. But do I think we're doing a great job? I think we're doing awesome. So, we'll fly when it's safe to fly and when we're ready, but feel super good about the progress.
Okay, thanks for that. And it does feel, at least at a glance, that some of your DoD efforts appear to be either de-emphasized or, in any case, it'd be good to get an update on the $142 million program. I think in the second quarter last year, you'd expected to deliver an actual aircraft to the DoD. Are you still planning that? I guess, can you just update us on the milestones of the DoD, and how should we think about the opportunities with the DoD this year and maybe next year?
Sure. So we submitted all the paperwork necessary to begin the delivery process to the DoD, and expect to have our military airworthiness in June, and then delivery afterwards.
Our next question is from Andres Shepard with Cantor Fitzgerald. Your line is now open.
Hey guys, good afternoon. Thanks for taking our questions, and congratulations on the quarter. Regarding the piloted test flights, so it looks like we're targeting mid-2024 to begin those. I'm curious, how do you anticipate that? How long will the piloted test flight have to run through until until you're confident enough to enter into service? Is that something that'll take weeks, months? Just trying to get a better feel for that. Thanks again.
Yeah, absolutely. So the first thing to keep in mind there is we need to prove the aircraft is safe to ourselves. And so we'll do that through, an extensive campaign of company flight testing, not just with that first aircraft, but with this fleet of 6 aircraft that we're building. That'll take months to go through that testing. But then back to the fleet of 6 conforming aircraft that we mentioned, 6 is not an arbitrary number there. That's essentially designed based on our detailed certification flight test campaign, where we go through and plan exactly what tests we need to do, what aircraft we will use for those tests, and essentially mirror the specific configuration and which systems are conformed on which aircraft to achieve the goals in that test campaign. So hard to pin down exactly how long that will all take, but we have a pretty detailed plan, and we're excited to start flying with the pilot next year.